Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Sumit and in this video I'm going to integrate Tableau with R. So I'm going to walk you through the installation part, connecting and Tableau with R serve. Then I'll be going to give you tell you a classic hello world example and one example of calling an R function with a parameter from Tableau to visualize the result in Tableau. So let's begin the installation of R first of all. So I have already installed R on my operating system. To integrate Tableau with R, you need to have is R installed on your operating system as well as Tableau. So I have both of them on my operating system, and the package which or the library which will be requiring for integrating Tableau with R is RServe. So if you are new to R, you can simply follow the steps what I'm going to do in this video and you can successfully integrate Tableau with R. So first of all, I pass a command library, install dot package, and the package is R. So I'm going to install this package, and when I run it, it says that installation has already been done. Do you want to restart R prior to installing? So in your case, because I have already installed the package, so it's asking for updation. So I'll say no. So the package will install and the package is already in use now. The next is I'm going to set the library. So I set the library as library R serve. So you can see library has been set successfully. There are no errors now. And then I pass a command to start the server that R serve. So basically this will start R serve in daemon mode, and any additional parameters are not related to this R serve. So we can specify port number as well. So but the by default port is there is a by default port number, and that default port number is 6311. So I simply pass command rserve and run it. So it will start the server. So our server has been started successfully. Now I'm going to launch Tableau, and I'll see that how can we integrate Tableau with R. So let's start Tableau. In this video, I'm going to integrate R with Tableau version 10.0. So my Tableau has been started. So I click on continue trial, and I'm going to load an Excel sheet. So in this case, I'm going to connect with the sample data set. So sample superstore Excel. So it will load the data. And I drag and drop order sheet, and then I click on go to worksheet. So the very first thing to integrate Tableau with R is we need to click on help, setting and performance, and there is an option coming here, manage external service connection. So you need to click on this manage external service connection, and it will ask for the server and the port number. As I've told you that the default port number for our server is 6311, and the server is localhost, that is on the current system. It might possible that you would like to integrate Tableau with the R, and the R has been installed on some other operating system, some other system. So in that case, we need to provide the server IP address. So in my case, it's localhost and the port number is 6311. So this would, if the R and Tableau has been, both of them will be installed on the same machine, and click on test connection. So I got a confirmation message that is it has been successfully connected to the R serve service. So now we are up to the integration part. So click on OK. OK. So the very first thing, I'm going to create a parameter here, and that parameter will be used to display a simple hello message. So first I click on analysis and create a calculated field, and I give this name as R result. or let's say R integration, and okay. So there are two ways to create the parameter field. Either first we can create a new calculated field and then we will associate a parameter with that field, or we can directly select any of the field and I'll say create a parameter. Definitely I'm going to update the parameter name, so I change the parameter names and I say R value. So this parameter will hold the values which will be returning back from the R. I change it to a string. I set this to string, current value is 0, and okay. So you can see the parameter has successfully been added into this parameters section. Next, I'm going to create a new variable or a new calculated field, and then I use this parameter to pass to get the value from the R, or so the value which returned from the R after aggregation, after analysis, or after manipulation, it will store into this variable and it will display the output in that particular variable, so I create a new calculated field and I give here as R text. There are four functions to get the output from to get the result from the R. Those functions are script bool. It will return the result into boolean in bool. Script int, it will return an integer result. Script real, it will return a numeric result, and script str, it will return a string result. In my case, I want to return I want to get return a string result, so I use script str. In our programming, we used to create a variable. So what's the way to simply display a string? So to simple print a message, we can simply use a and hello world, and when I run it and when I press a, it will give me an output hello world. So same functionality I'm going to implement here. So I simply write here a and hello world. Welcome to BISP, and comma. So I'm going to add the parameter here because that parameter will help us to return the value from the R. So for that, I use attr, and this attr basically is an expression. It returns the value of the given expression if it only has a single value for all rows in the group. So I include this and I use here the R value. So that's the parameter which we have created. So the expression is fine. There is no error now. And I click on OK. And once I click on OK, a new calculated field has been added named as R text. And if I simply drag and drop this R text somewhere in columns, it will perform the calculations. So you can see an error is coming here, and why I'm doing this, I just wanted to show you that if these kind of error occurs, how can you solve those errors. So this error is coming, so we can click on show details to check the error, and the error is the unexpected incomplete string. So why it is incomplete string? Because we started with double quotes but we didn't close the double quotes. So I'll just customize it. First of all, I remove it and I click on select this, edit, and I simply add underscore. So now it's a complete string. There are no errors anymore. Click on OK, and now I simply drag and drop R text on column or anywhere on the sheet, and it will perform. It will connect to our string. It will connect to our programming and get the value from there. So you can see we are getting a message here. Hello world, welcome to BISP. So that's how we can simply get a string output from by using R. The next we'll be going to do an example of calling an R function, and in that R function we pass the parameter from Tableau, and that parameter will pass the value to R. The calculation will be done on R and it will return back the result on the Tableau, and then will display the result on Tableau. So what actually my requirement is, as you can see here, we have a sales measure, and if I drag and drop my sales measure on columns, or let's suppose I drag and drop my sales on labels, so I'm getting one. So that's the total sale is 14,915,601. That's the sum of sale. So same thing I would like to do, but in this case I would like to apply some aggregate functions, or I want to perform some mathematical functions on this total output. So that I would like to perform by using R. So in that case, I'm going to create a new parameter. So very quickly, I create a new parameter here. So I create a new parameter and I give a name as R calculated, or let's say R sum. Simple. The return type, the data type will be integer. Current value is 0. Display format is automatic, and it will allow all the values. And click on OK. So you can see a new parameter has been added named as rsum. So again, I'm going to create a new calculated field, and this calculated field is total sum. I rename it as total sum. This time I would like to return integer. So script int, so it will return an integer result. Here the function is to calculate, to perform the operations is the script init, and I pass a function here as dot integer dot arg1, and I would like to multiply it by 20, and the output will be stored in the variable, and the variable is r sum. Okay, and let's drag and drop this total sum, and I drag and drop this total sum on text, so it will perform the calculations. So I'm getting 0 here. Let me check the property again. So okay, so the formula should be okay. Formula is not correct, so because we need to pass the value into this function, and I would like to get the total sales, so I pass here sales. So what will happen, it will pass this sum of sales as an argument, it will multiply it by 2, and it will return into this total and store into this, it will give us the output. So I click on OK, and I'll just drag and drop sum of sales. So that's the sum of sales, and that's the total sum. So you can see it has, so now we are getting the calculated values. So that's how we can integrate Tableau with R. I hope you like this video and found this video very helpful. If that's so, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. If you have any queries, you can write to us on www.bisptrainings.com. You can contact for us for the customized training on Tableau as well as on R programming. Keep watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.